Everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be making a brochure in Microsoft Word. So after, looking over the content in the module, we learned that a brochure can be a bifold or a trifold, so two folds or three folds. Two folds would be like what we see at church when they hand out the programs, and a trifold would really be kind of what you see when you go to maybe, let's say, Orlando, and you have all those different pamphlets that kind of tell you about the different things and attractions that they have around Orlando. And you can see an example of it here as well. So we want to look at how we can create this, and it's going to be very similar to a newsletter. So the first thing we want to do is we want to come out to Word, and I use Word because it's much easier compared to Google Docs just because of the feature. I'm going to go to New, and then I'm going to type into the search here, brochure. A bunch of brochures will pop up. Notice it will, tell you if it's a trifold, and if it's a bifold, it'll tell you, if it has 4 columns or if it has 2 columns. And so you want to go through there and you want to look at everything. Like notice this one says that it's 8 pages, and it's a half fold, which would mean it's a bifold. So we want to look for a trifold for our activity. So we're really just kind of looking for the main design. We don't really care about the content that's on there. So let's just say this one looks pretty good. So I'm going to click on it and I'm going to hit download. Okay, I open it up and it's going to have a front and it's going to have a back because we do print on both sides. So really all I'm doing is changing the information. So let's say I'm making this for a club at St. Pius because that's what you guys are doing for yours. So I'm going to put in here graphic design club. And then maybe right here I'm going to put St. Pius X Catholic High School. And then maybe I'll put something like moderated by Miss Ashley Wright. Okay, I can change the box size of this, so it's a little bit longer. I can come in here, I can change the font, but if I'm going to change the font, I need to make sure that I'm changing it for everything. Same thing with the size, I can do that, but I want to make sure that I'm changing it for everything. So if you look at the top one, it's 11. If you look at the bottom one, it's 14. So I need to keep those consistent. All right, there we go. And then maybe I'm actually going to right align those. And you got to be careful. You can see I'm accidentally moving some stuff around here. And I'll right align that with that right side. So since I used that Poor Richard font, I'm going to go back and do it for the Graphic Design Club. This text should be larger just because it's the title. Okay, I can drag it out. I can make it bigger. I'm really going to continue to make it bigger. Maybe I'm going to center it. There we go. All right, then it says company name. You may not want this. I don't think this is important for me, so I'm going to get rid of it. Notice I kind of have to click on everything and delete it. Specifically with text boxes, if you look here, you have this little data dashed line. Click on the border of that, then hit delete, and that'll get rid of it. And since I've deleted that, I really want to replace it because this is very empty now. So maybe I'm going to go grab an image. For time's sake, I'm going to use clip art, but you guys should be using the internet. So I'm going to type in design. Okay, and so maybe I'll use something like this just for time's sake. Notice it goes all the way over here. I have to go to wrap text and I have to go to in front of text so that way I can move it freely. And now I can resize that. Maybe I'm going to put that there. Let's see what else I can find. Maybe I'm going to do this one as well. Oh, I've got that one selected. So I have to make sure that nothing's selected before inserting, or maybe it's just telling me, no, it doesn't like that. There we go. I'm just choosing some random things. So that way I can just kind of get some stuff on here and kind of show you what it should look like. Okay, there we go. So now I've got that title covered. It still looks a little bit empty, so I might go in there. Maybe I'll even, move this to the top. Maybe I'll get rid of this and I'll add something else here, like a better picture of the students in my club. Okay, so then I'm going to go to the back cover because you have to think that this is being folded. Okay, so again, it's a trifold. It says logo here, so I actually do have a logo. So I'm going to click on picture and I'm going to see if I can actually go grab that. I'm not quite sure that it is. Oh, there we go. It is available for me. All right, there's my logo. Again, if I want to move it around freely and it's not letting me, and I'm not seeing this wrap text option, delete that object and then reinsert. So that way it's not in the placeholder that they have, and then choose in front of text. Now you can move it and you can resize it how you need it. And since I've got this, I really don't think I'm going to use this. So I'm just going to place the logo at the bottom there. The back page is the only one that really won't be full. All right, so maybe this here is going to be background. And again, I need to be consistent. That's one of the biggest parts of this project, is understanding how to format and making sure things are consistent. If I go with a 20 font here for this one, I've got to go for 20 fonts for all my other titles for my articles. And again, I want to keep with that Poor Richard. And so maybe I'm going to put here, Graphic Design Club was first established in the spring of 2017. We just created this class by Club Biarski. I think that's how you spell her last name. Okay, and we'll just kind of keep typing some information out here. But notice when I started, I highlighted all the text and then I started typing. Okay, and so you want to fill everything out there. You want to make sure that you're using all of the space. So I'm going to pause here and I'm going to take a second to fill this out and I'm going to come back. All right, so I finished my background here, and so now maybe I want to change this image. So again, I can click on it, I can go to insert. For time's sake, I'm going to type something in here like graphic design. Let's see what comes up when we put that in. Okay, let's see. So maybe I'm going to go with this picture. You can see that it replaces the existing picture, but you might have to resize it. I can click on that picture. Let's see here. I can't go and change the border of the picture. And why is that? Well, that's because it's in compatibility mode. So what we want to do now is we want to go to File, Save As, and we want to make sure that it's saved as a Word document, DOCX, which is the most recent Word document with all the newest features. So I'll hit Save now and say OK. And now you can see that everything looks really different. And I can actually click on this picture and I can choose like a little frame to just kind of make it a little bit more interesting. And then maybe I want to, insert another picture in here somewhere to fill a little bit more space. I could do that as well. But honestly, that looks really good. I think I've filled the space well. There's not a lot of empty space other than the top and the bottom margins. So I'm really happy with the way that's looking. Now, maybe I want to change the green to kind of match my logo design here. Well, I can click on that green. I can go to Format, Shape, Fill, and that's where I can actually go and I can change those colors so that it fits with everything else. Now, that just kind of changed the way that whole entire thing looks, and that's because it looks like there is two boxes inside of each other. So it looks like I might have to pull the green box out. Or I just kind of might have to make do because it looks like it's selecting both either way. There we go. When I clicked on the second one inside, that got it that time. For some reason, that changed back. There we go. And that changed back. So I'm just going to continue this process. So now, I'm over here on the second page. I'm ready for my second title. It should be Poor Richard font. It should be the same font as the one at the top, which is 20. So I'll highlight that, increase that to 20. And then maybe here I'm going to put join the fun. And so maybe this whole page is just going to kind of be on different things that we are interested in doing throughout the year. So again, I'll change it to Poor Richard. I want to match that font with the same size as above. Oh, and look, I didn't change this one to Poor Richard. So I need to do that as well. And I'm just going to continue this process. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, that's about it for learning how to create a brochure. You're just going to continue that process. Again, don't leave any large gaps, fill the space. And if you have any questions, just shoot me an email. See you next time.